Yo, Akil.
What up, man?
Bro, I've been, feeling a bit dizzy lately, bro. Bro, I'm feeling, yeah. Akil.
Tommy! Tommy!
Yo, hey there. Welcome to the G1 Podcast. So, I'm Taufik, here's Akil, and over there, there's Hana. So, welcome to the best podcast for gaining knowledge and also information about the medical world currently. So, pretty much, you guys can relax, have fun, while gaining more information and knowledge about medicine and medical stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So as you guys can see from the previous video that Akil and Taufik already made very silly, right? So what in the world happened to this guy, Do you guys have any idea what kind of disease that this guy had?
I don't know, the dude suddenly fell down.
Right.
Maybe he's sleepy. Maybe he needs more water.
Yeah, the idea.
Maybe. Or maybe, he needs more love,
Uh-oh.
Nah, just kidding. So, I think, right, the dude actually had a stroke.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, you guys, I have the answer.
What is it?
It's not because of love, it's because of stroke.
Ah.
You're correct.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
really true.
true. So I think you guys may already guess what the topic we are going to discuss. So yes, we will talk about medical disease called stroke. So don't worry guys, we're going to keep it light, fun, and but still informative. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Alright.
let's go.
Let's get started. Hemorrhagic.
Hemorrhagic.
Stroke.
Stroke. Got bubbling.
So, to start off our podcast, obviously we need to know what is stroke. So, stroke pretty much is a brain attack. So, it is clinically identified condition marked by developing symptoms or signs indicating the focal loss of cerebral functions by a vascular cause. Wow, so many words. We need to emphasize the vascular cause because you can have a focal injury from a trauma, but it could be not a stroke.
Wait, what is so many terms, and what is like focal injury?
So basically, right, focal injury is when your brain got injured in one spot, but it will still affect a lot of organs in the body.
Okay, I get it. So basically, like stroke happen when the brain does not have enough blood supply.
Yeah,
right?
and yeah, so true, so true.
Yeah. So there are actually two mechanisms of the injury and of the type of stroke that exists. So the first one is ischemic stroke, and the second one is hemorrhagic stroke.
Hemorrhagic.
Hemorrhagic
Ah,
stroke.
okay.
Okay, so what's
It's a
the
bit
difference?
unfamiliar,
So like, what's the difference between those two then?
So ischemic stroke is the most common type of stroke. It happens when blood clots or other particle blocks the vessel to the brain. So you get what I mean, right? And then sometimes the fatty deposit called plaque can also travel to the vessel and cause blockage into the blood vessel that supplies the blood to the brain. So it's about blockage when the brain does not have enough blood supply to
I
the
see.
brain.
Fun fact actually, for hemorrhagic stroke, actually is a bit different than ischemic stroke.
Alright.
So basically it happens when the blood vessels rupture. And then
So that's
when
the difference.
when the blood vessels rupture, the blood leaks, right? And then because there is too much pressure on the brain walls, it damages them. Not only that, high blood pressure and aneurysm or abnormal swelling or bulge in the wall of the blood vessel can cause hemorrhagic stroke. Yes.
Interesting.
Understood.
Interesting.
So as you can see from the video before, you saw me not functioning at all. So the symptoms can widespread like from 24 hours long, or it could be like leading to death. If it's not treated well. So obviously the syndrome varies in severity and ranging from recovery from day to incomplete recovery, severe disability, or fatality, meaning death.
Really?
Wow.
So another fact. Stroke is the third leading cause of death in Malaysia.
Wow,
You
really?
need to be worried,
Wow.
guys. Yes,
Third
Malaysia.
leading
Not
cause.
Indonesia, but Malaysia.
Only Malaysia.
Yeah, so according to the National Stroke Registry, there were 47,000 stroke cases in 2019,
That's
which
a lot,
means
huh?
that like about 130 people suffer from stroke every day in Malaysia. Every day, bro.
Wow.
That's a lot of numbers.
So Sunway City's Assistant Medical Director and Consultant Emergency Physician at Sunway Medical Center, wow, a lot of Sunway, what's that?
Yo.
His name is Dr. Lee Tuan Cheong, said that about 32 people die from strokes every day, and individuals who suffer from strokes often face multiple health challenges. So pretty much like it's either you die or you're gonna face with some obstacles after you get stroke.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10 stroke patients require assistance from others to survive. Yeah.
I see. So, okay, because this is based on data, I need to look at my laptop, right?
Yeah.
So, and then based on the data from World Stroke Organization, Lancet Neurology Commission, so the number of people dying from stroke could increase by 50% by 2050.
50%?
50%, unless significant improvements are made in prevention and treatment. So the stroke thing is very serious.
It's very deadly,
Yes.
Wow.
More about like percentage, right? About 87% of all strokes are ischemic strokes in which blood flow to the brain is blocked. Yeah, 87%.
Guys, like unluckily, I have another not so fun fact.
Oh my god, bro, are you kidding me?
Do you know that stroke is the leading cause of death for Americans?
Oh. Really?
You Americans, bro.
I feel so bad.
Yeah.
So the death rate for stroke increased from 38.8 per 100,000 people per year in 2020. It increases to 41.1 people per 100,000 people in 2021.
Okay, so the numbers keep increasing.
It's like in 1 year,
In 1 year,
bro.
Wow.
like in one short year. Like imagine.
Okay, so do you guys think that like the risk of having like strokes can be caused by like race and ethnicity?
I have a data here that says it actually affects it. Did you know that the risk of having stroke is nearly twice as high for non-Hispanic black adults?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yes, it's quite the jump there.
So it can be caused by race and ethnicity.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting, eh?
Interesting.
So stroke is pretty deadly, yeah. And
Really?
then the number keeps increasing from year to year, and eventually, as our friend already stated here, that stroke is the third. It's like
Yeah, the third
causing death.
death in Malaysia. Yeah.
I think like also why it's increasing, it's because of the food industry.
Oh,
Like with the
right.
technology and the flavor, like the way you make the flavor more unique, it needs chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That may affect it too,
Wow.
So talking about like the causes actually,
Okay.
let's talk about like what's the risk factors and also the causes. So obviously like if you want to like treat a disease or like something that's deadly, you need to know what's the causes first. So to prevent like stroke, obviously. So the factors may include like the common ones are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, obesity, and also sedentary lifestyle. Yeah.
What is sedentary lifestyle?
So pretty much sedentary lifestyle is like when you're not moving at all, sitting all day, lying
So
all
you
day.
just described.
Yeah, I'm
me.
describing you and also
That's
myself.
why you need to exercise,
Yeah.
So guys, don't
guys.
forget to exercise.
Don't be lazy, it's dangerous.
Right. Stroke. And as you said before, right, high blood pressure is one of the causes because what is the type, guys, caused by ruptured blood?
It's called hemorrhagic stroke.
Okay.
You see, I remember, you know.
Hemo is blood, right? Relates to, blood.
It's,
Right.
but Hannah, how do we know if someone had a stroke?
Interesting.
How?
I think we should ask Hannah. Why Hannah?
Okay, you're gonna ask me, so I will give you guys my answer. So, to diagnose stroke, there are a couple of methods. So, the first one is doing a brain CT scan. You guys already learned that in our class, right?
Of course
What
I
is a
remember.
CT scan?
Uh-huh.
So, how this CT scan can detect stroke? Because why? Because a CT scan allow us to check whether there are bleeding or damage in the brain caused by
Stroke.
Stroke. Yeah.
Or the
obviously.
rupture.
Yeah, could be. And what would be the second method? Do you
Hannah.
guys know?
Is it possible to check stroke with MRI?
Of course, by utilizing, because MRIs utilize magnet and radio waves to create image of your brain. So therefore, we can get the image of the brain, so we can detect whether there is a blockage or maybe a rupture in your blood vessel that supplies the blood into your brain. So MRI can also detect stroke.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I know some other ways to diagnose, but it's not so high level lah.
Oh, what is
So stuff like blood test. So
Ah.
through blood test, you can check your sugar level, if you have cholesterol or not, your blood pressure through blood test, and then you can also do some other physical tests, obviously for checking your heartbeat, your blood pressure. Just like we said just then, if you have high blood pressure, you're gonna have the high risk of getting stroke. And we can also use echocardiogram, which is using the sound wave to create detailed image of the heart, and then we can find the source of clots that may have traveled to the brain and caused a stroke.
Wow, so we need to either use a fancy machine,
Yeah.
CT scan, MRI.
Or we can use traditional one,
So-
blood test and physical
Yeah,
test.
so pretty much I think mostly Malaysians will choose the cheaper option. Yeah,
Only Malaysian?
or Indonesian as well. Yeah.
Just, ignore these two guys, alright?
So
Okay, guys.
if you found out that you might have a stroke, so how do you treat it?
Because this disease sounds so deadly,
I know.
Alright,
Is there any medication that we can take that if we have a stroke, so it can heal,
I don't know. You answer.
Me?
Maybe.
Oh.
Do you know of it?
Wait, I think I know.
You think you
so,
know?
you know what? I will answer.
Gosh,
So,
okay.
for ischemic stroke, stroke, emergency for medicine.
That's IV, by the way.
So, for ischemic stroke, we have the medication of emergency IV medicine. It is to dilute and break down the clot so blood flow can return to the brain. So, obviously, blood clot will produce stroke, so we don't want that. So, we use this medicine, and it must be done in the 4 hours, hours from when the symptoms begin.
Wow, it's pretty long.
Yeah, pretty long.
Alright, so we have another treatment. So it's called the emergency endovascular treatment.
Damn, that's kind of long.
I know, right?
It sounds so complicated.
So it's basically a therapy that has been shown to improve the outcomes and reduce long-term disability after the ischemic stroke. So what is ischemic stroke? Do you guys still remember?
The
very bad.
clot.
The blood clot one.
Blood clot.
Okay.
The blood
very
clot
good.
one.
Yeah.
But Hannah, this emergency endovascular treatment, what is it actually? Because it sounds so complicated,
Yeah.
we never heard of this word before.
That's true.
Okay, so this therapy is when the medicine is delivered directly to the brain or by removing clots with a stent retriever. We know what stent is, right? Because
Yes.
we already. Do you know what this is?
The stent is the thingy you put
In
right,
the blood
in
vessels.
the blood vessels, and then it just goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, Okay, so.
I focus in class.
Me too.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
I see.
yeah. So for hemorrhagic stroke, okay, this is very hard for me to pronounce it.
Mhm.
The treatment is actually to control the bleeding and reducing the pressure in the brain caused by the excess flow.
Ah, I see. So for each different type of stroke, we need different kind of medication.
Yes, because the other one is caused by the rupture of the blood vessel,
Yeah.
and the other one is caused by the blockage.
Okay.
So we need
Yeah,
like
it's
two
different, yeah.
different method of medication.
Okay.
So we discussed about stroke, right? But
Mhm.
do you guys know actually what is happening? What is going on in the brain of a patient who suffer a stroke?
You
Well,
know?
actually I know. But in general terms, obviously, I don't know the specifics of it. So pretty much, our brain is the most affected organ during stroke. That's why it's called a brain attack. So in general, the brain needs enough oxygen and blood flow. But if the blood, for example, doesn't go to the brain, only for a short time, the brain metabolism will be affected. So Akil, right? The amount of oxygen and blood we need in the brain.
Yeah. So it's around like 50 milliliter or like 100 gram per minute. Around that level.
Okay, I see.
So 50 million, it's not that big amount of blood here.
Yeah.
So it's like, even the slightest amount you lost from the blood can affect that much.
Yeah, it's true. So obviously we have two kinds of strokes, So in ischemic stroke, where blood clots or being blocked, the brain tissue can be damaged due to lack of blood flow. Obviously, like we said just then, the brain needs blood. If the blood doesn't go to the brain will be damaged and cause stroke. So even for a few minutes, it will cause hypoxia and hypoglycemia. Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
I think, that's how you
We're
pronounce
not
it.
medical student.
Yeah, we are biomedical students, which leads to infarction of the brain tissues. This can set off a chain reaction that harms brain cells.
Oh, so
Yeah.
now we know.
I want to ask something. What is infarction?
Okay, so
Because
I
I
know.
never heard that word
I
before.
know what this is.
Same, I just said it. I don't even know what
So
was
it's about the death of tissue.
The what?
It's a tissue death.
Oh, I see.
Due to the
Yeah.
lack of blood supply to that affected area. So
Mm.
that is called infarction.
So what about the other type of stroke? How does that happen? Okay.
So the other type of stroke, as you guys know, is called hemorrhagic stroke. So hemorrhagic stroke happen when there is a burst of blood vessels. And because there is a burst of blood vessels, like the pressure goes like everywhere, So it doesn't stay inside the blood vessels. So it can injure the brain walls or like the cells in the brain. Yeah. But because of hemorrhagic stroke, the flow got decreased like greatly, that it will affect the function of the brain. So here are some not so fun fact. Neurons cannot survive if the blood flow is 5 milliliter or 100 gram per minute.
Oh, 5 milliliters is like a very small
Yeah,
amount.
Very small amount.
Very
Yeah,
small
very
amount.
small.
And that small amount can cause.
So much harm,
So
Yeah.
much harm. Like stroke, it's just the beginning, Like it can cause death.
Alright, guys, so actually, right, I asked my friends on my social media, especially Instagram, if they have a question about stroke so that we can answer it in this video. So, cameraman, can you please help us to mention the question?
Alright, first question. Can the brain heal by itself after stroke?
Okay, I think I'll take this question.
Alright.
Okay, so although it might take some time, actually brain can heal itself by using its property called the neuroplasticity. So what is neuroplasticity? So neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to form and recognize synaptic connection, especially during learning process or following an injury.
Oh wow.
Yes. So it can actually heal itself, you know. Like you don't need medication, but it might take some time.
Yeah, because
That's good.
you still need like rehabilitation. You know.
Like different from people to people, you know,
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right,
good.
right.
and how severe the damage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so brain has amazing properties itself, right?
Yeah.
All right. Question 1 answered. So next question.
Can stroke happen in children?
Okay, I will answer that question. So it's a good question, right?
Yeah.
Because we usually think that stroke only happens in adults or older people. So yes, children can also experience strokes. Although
Really?
these cases are less common than adults.
Mhm.
The causes of stroke in children can vary, of course, including like vascular abnormalities, infection, or blood clotting disorders. So yes, it could happen in children also. And the management and therapy for strokes in children may involve a more specific approach to the underlying cause, right? Because like stroke therapy in children is often adjusted based on the child's age, development, and also medical condition, right? So the medical team involving the pediatric specialist, physiotherapist, speech therapist also, and other therapy experts may need to provide care for the children who experience strokes. So yeah.
So we thought it was already so deadly, but now we learn it can also happen in children.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god. Yeah.
So next question.
The last question, right?
Last
Yeah,
question.
last
Okay, we can.
Because there
only-
is 3 of us, right?
Yes.
So only 3 questions.
So what's the next question, cameraman, please?
Alright, third question. What are the most efficient way to reactivate the numb side of the body?
So obviously everybody have answer already, so it's my turn. So pretty much in any disease, you need to find what causes the disease, obviously the roots. So we know that there are 2 causes, there's blockage and also there's rupture. So for example, like there's blockage, right? You have to take some medication to remove the clot. So if it's bleeding, you could actually just leave it be and let it heal by itself. And after that, obviously you're cured, but because once everybody is already like numb, so when you're like after the medication and all that, you'll have to have some rehab, some physiotherapy, because it's been like quite some time you haven't used your hand, your body and all that, so you need some rehab to that.
I
So,
see.
yeah.
But maybe like the patient haven't fully recovered, right?
That's true.
So what should we do?
Maybe they forgot how to use their hands, you know?
Yeah.
Because we don't know how long have they had this stroke, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like for 1-2 years.
Yeah,
They haven't
because-
their hand is like this.
So
They're not moving.
they want to like gain their strength back.
Mm.
Yeah.
They
So
want to get the sensation back.
Yeah.
the solution is
Rehab.
rehabilitation.
That's true.
Physiotherapy.
Alright guys, that is all from us, G1 Podcast talking about strokes.
Right, thank you for listening and make sure you guys pay attention, huh? Dr. Faiz will ask question, you know?
That's true. And then hopefully you guys, join us for next week podcast, which we'll be discussing about Akil.
Broken heart.
Hey, what?
Why you guys looking at me? Bro, no. See you guys then. Bye bye.